So I'm here to introduce you to a legend from the past. So there it is, my friends, the RD350, all the way from 1983. So this particular bike, what you see in front of you, is a 1983 model high torque machine. So we are here to tank up the beast. So this one takes 2T oil. So we're putting 2 packets of 60 ml and then 4 liters of fuel, so which is a ratio of 30 ml oil per liter. So yes, doing that right away. Yeah, this is because the oil pump is not functional. If the oil pump is functional, you have the side tank on the left hand side to keep the 2T oil. 4 liters Saki sir. Okay. So yeah, I'm pretty not sure what's the mileage this bike is returning, but should be somewhere around 10 to 15 optimistically. So yes, okay, yeah, I thought so. All right, my friends, so the legend is ready to roar. We need to make sure it is put to the reserve or on appropriately. Okay. I hope you are able to hear the roar of the beast. The feel of riding an RD is second to none, right? So all of us must have heard a lot about this bike. So this bike is a true legend, rather, and also the first and foremost super bike ever launched in India back in the 1983. So the machine I'm riding right now is a 1983 model bone stock RD350 HT. So this one produces about 37 bhp. I'm not very sure about how much torque etc, but it's a 347cc parallel twin motor, 2-stroke, of course, with the legendary torque induction from the Yamaha. So this bike was a barn find, I would say, and it is due for restoration, but yeah, it runs. So just got this out for a quick spin nearby to a cafe to do a quick spin and then show you guys around the bike. Okay. It's a beautiful evening, my friends. I'm just riding to a cafe on the countryside. So we are going to witness the sunset if the clouds permit. So there is this back countryside roads nearby my place where I'm just taking a spin to a nearby cafe for a quick coffee and refresher. I hope you can hear the roar of the RD. It gets even pronounced as it gets to the 4000 to 5000 RPM. I'll shut up for a while so that you can hear the bike. Do you hear that? The roar of the RD. There are too many speed breakers here because people have been speeding up apparently because there is this university here on the left hand side where there is a lot of college crowd. So you know, the squids usually roam around and then, you know, speed up in front of colleges. So that's a usual phenomena what you see in front of most of the colleges, right? So that's what it is. So yes, coming back to the legend, the beast, RD350. So yes, this bike was produced in two different versions. The first one was high torque, which came in 1983 to 1986, and yes, it came with 37 bhp on the tap, and then you know, these wonderful drum brakes which hardly have any bite in the front, but the rear one seems okay, but nothing compared to what we have currently in terms of the modern safety systems such as ABS, traction control, etc, etc. So all of those things, so nothing compared to that. This is like a bare bone RD350 with absolutely no features. It's just a bare bone stock bike, and feel of riding this is like truly amazing, I would say. And I'm not riding it for the first time. I've ridden this many times during my biking career, and back in 2012 I did rebuild my first RD, and then unfortunately I had to give it up. We will talk about why we gave it up very soon, and also discuss how relevant is this bike in today's age, generation, year, and overall dynamics in terms of relevancy, and also how is it to maintain, and etc, etc. So yes, we have arrived to the cafe, and just get some quick coffee, and then we'll get chatting. Yes, this is in its stock form at this point in time, and I think the paint on it is also from 1983, and it's stock. You see that there's no shine or glitter whatsoever, so it is like faded. But believe me, my friends, when you hear the roar of this machine, even today, right, it's a head turner, and everybody on the road, everybody just keeps looking at it. So that's the kind of legendary character and the charm this particular bike carries, right? So this bike is actually owned by my brother, who is into restoration, etc. So he picked up this bike, I think, all the way from the north. So I'm not sure what's the price, etc, but in today's date, RD350 sells anywhere from 3.5 lakh to 6 lakh rupees, depending on the condition and the spec of parts in the bike, right? So that's what it is. And yeah, so few points which I wanted to discuss is, do you think this bike is relevant today, right? So this bike is not having any kind of features or the modern features what come in the bikes today, right? It doesn't even have a disc brake, right? Forget about ABS, traction control, self starter, etc., etc. Nothing it has. It's a bone stock motorcycle, right? Is it relevant? I don't know. It's again individual choice, I would say, choice and passion towards motorcycling and the joy of motorcycling. So I'm not going to divulge into that because it's an individual choice, and it could be relevant to one person, it couldn't be relevant to others. So but on the practical side, how easy or difficult it is to maintain this bike, right? So I have owned this bike, or rather an RD350, back in 2010 when I restored the bike part by part and built a complete machine, right? So was it easy to do that? Definitely no. I had to run pillar to post to find parts for this particular bike, and mechanic to mechanic to get it put together. And on a day-to-day basis, also the kind of maintenance this bike demands is pretty high. There's something going wrong every often, right? Every now and then there is something wrong, and it doesn't start, it doesn't it leaks fuel, it leaks oil, all those things keep happening. I think that's purely because maybe due to that one particular bike, but that's my experience overall, right? So it's not easy to own and maintain. It definitely requires a lot of passion, a lot of time on hand to be able to own this bike and maintain it the way it should be kept, right? And coming to the price, right, the kind of prices which this bike is selling in today's market, right, 4 to 6 lakh rupees is like crazy, right? 4 to 6 lakh rupees is like crazy. And believe me, when this bike was launched back in 1983, I think this costed somewhere around 18,000 or 28,000, something like that. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I think those are the numbers which I had in mind, 18 or 28, I'm not sure, but that was the price then. And today the vintage value of this bike is 4 to 6 lakhs. So that's amazing perspective, right? Also, a few things which we want to talk about is the parts availability, right? Parts availability is extremely difficult. You will need to have be friends with mechanics, be friends in forums with various enthusiasts who sell the parts at 5x 10x price or whatsoever. It's like muh mangi kimat. You need to pay for those parts in order to be able to maintain it, right? And the skill of the mechanic also plays a very key role in servicing these bikes, right? These bikes come with dual carburetors which need to be tuned time to time, right? And both these carburetors need to be tuned so with perfection, I would say, in order to hear the right beat of RD350. Otherwise it would be not in sync, it will not sound in sync, right? So that is one. And a lot of things require specialized skills to be able to maintain it. Yeah. And in terms of fuel, yes, it takes a lot of fuel in order to get this started and get this running. So yeah, we just filled fuel for about 4 liters, 600 rupees plus 2T oil, because I had to fill the 2T oil from here because the fuel pump is not operational on this bike. So availability of 2T oil also is an issue. It's not available at every petrol pump. It's available only in few select places. So that's also a problem. If you take it out and you don't get 2T oil, then you're stuck, right? So that's one. And everyday usage, I will not recommend this bike for an everyday usage, all due to the practicality. Not really practical in terms of kind of maintenance it requires, kind of fuel economy it delivers, right? 10 to 15 kilometers per hour. It's like crazy. But when you sit on this bike and crank it, and the kind of feel the bike gives is like truly exhilarating and amazing feeling. So let's get on to the bike and fire it up and see how it goes. Okay, all right. So yes, it's a eyeball grabber, I will say. Everybody who sees the bike definitely want to know more about the bike, where I got it and all those things. So, and even you see the person sitting right in front in the black t-shirt didn't hesitate to ask for a test ride, right? So I had to politely decline, because bike is not owned by me, bike is owned by my brother, right? So if anything goes wrong, I will be answerable. So here is how it fires up. Here is how it fires up, and you'll hear it moving. The real joy of this bike is once it gets moving, right? Once it gets moving, the kind of adrenaline this one pumps is like amazing, my friends. In modern days, if I could compare this with something, it would definitely be my 2014 Duke 390 BS4, the raw power it had. So that's the kind of closest feeling I could get from a bike of recent times. So okay, some bhaji pakodas happening there. So yes, I really want you guys to hear this bike, but I'm not sure if this is the right place, but I really want you guys to hear it. Let me fire the bike up and let's hear to the roar of the RD350. Do you hear that? I hope you did. Yes, that's the roar of a true RD350, my friends. You see the eyeballs. This bike really grabs the eyeballs. See, everybody looking at it. I unfortunately did not get the sunset today because it's been very cloudy and overcast. So I think it's going to rain in a while. So just heading back home. Yeah, this bike is not in a great shape. Yes, I agree, this bike is not in great shape, and yes, it definitely requires overhaul, complete overhaul and restoration. But yeah, no, nevertheless, I think it doesn't miss out or miss a beat, right? It definitely is not 100%, but yeah, but it definitely gives you that real feel and pleasure of riding a RD350.